video this morning. Drove home a 911 Carrera for the weekend. It's a 95, so still air cooled, kind of that classic small body Porsche. Really fun to drive, kind of zippy, kind of that classic soul. You know, it makes that noise that Porsche lovers love to hear. That 6-cylinder kind of raspy rattle that these make. Really sure-footed at speed. But this car, normally I prefer choosing the automatic variant of a car because of my drive that I have to deal with every day. This car in an automatic is the earlier generation. It's not as well sorted. It's a 4-speed automatic, not a 5-speed automatic or a 6-speed automatic as in a lot of the new cars. Its transmission strategy is it leaves a lot to be desired. It leaves the line in second gear without any way to change it to leaving the line in first gear, except for giving it more than a third throttle or putting it in Tiptronic mode. But having that 4-speed automatic, you do get to spend more time in the fat part of the power band, but a 6-speed car would have been preferable. What's neat about this car is you can see a lot of the heritage. You look at those gauges, and this car immediately flashes you back to a early cup car, race car. Big giant tack in the middle, and everything else is extra and on the side. There's a lot of heritage with these cars, and I think people really remember them fondly. This, for me, is not a generation that I personally prefer. I'm 6'4", so I can't even put my foot on the dead pedal for a reasonable trip without having a sore leg. So for me, this car is less than desirable in its experience. But what I'll tell you, it does do. It gets good mileage. It is economical. When this thing comes on cam, it is a nice, fun little powerhouse. You get spoiled driving the AMG supercharged cars and the modern 911 water-cooled cars, and how much more powerful they are, and how much more seamless they are in the power delivery. This thing is kind of like driving an S2000 or a Civic Type R or Civic SIR or any of the VTEC cars that are really, you notice the changeover in cam profiles. It really is super noticeable. That's what this car does. This car spends half of its life going around town with kind of a drone, and then should you choose it to move, it gets to a spot where all of a sudden it just wails. And if I would have had enough road this morning without semi-trucks and stupid drivers, I would have let you hear that. All in all, a fun car. I took it home for the weekend because the SL500 that I wanted to drive for the weekend, being that it was a convertible, we're supposed to have nice weather, got taken home by a fellow employee, which, that's the breaks. Really, if I have to worry about whether I'm driving the Porsche or the SL home for the weekend, I've got it okay. So, but yeah, I'd recommend if you're not 6'4" and you want a Porsche, the air-cooled is an option. It's still a classic. It's still fun to drive. It still makes that cool Porsche sound. This is what really originated everything, and I think to a lot of the purists, the newer cars are imposters. To me, it's a little different. I came onto the Porsche scene much later than a lot of those guys, so my palate is different. But give it a shot. I recommend this car. It's a lot lower in maintenance than a water-cooled car because you don't have coolant to worry about. And there's that noise that's irreplaceable. So thank you, Freeway On-Ramps, for allowing me to exhibit that to you. But right now you can hear the engine is still revved, and I'm at, an eighth of a throttle. That's the strategy of that automatic transmission that I talked about. It's really nitpicky, and I think that is a downfall to this car, something that they've remedied over time. So if you want an automatic and you want a 911, you need to get a water-cooled car. It has to be a 5 or 6-speed automatic transmission car. I do not recommend the 4-speed Tiptronic. It's good around town. It's great if you want to just cruise around. But if you are a spirited driver and you want an automatic, the 4-speed is not the car to get. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Yeah, what a great set of gauges, huh? It takes you back to every old Porsche, half the old Volkswagens in the world. It's just really, really a neat car.